talk about the step today. Now, the first thing that you need to know about a step is that when you put it together, you want to make sure that everything's locked into place safe to make your workout a safe thing to be doing. How you do that is just take one of your legs of your step, give it a little tug, make sure everything's locked in. Now, a lot of people would come up to me and have a lot of questions about how many risers should I have under my step? And I'm going to give you my rule of thumb. I generally like to use 2 risers under my step because of my physicality. My legs aren't real long. I'm not a super tall person. But what I always tell people is, put your foot up onto the bench. You never want to have your hip and your knee at a 90-degree angle. That would make it at this height. That would be way too high to be able to do a step class that lasts for 30 minutes or more. So always keep that in mind when setting up your equipment. You can always use no step if you're a beginner, and then just gradually work yourself up. If you're a real tall person, you might be able to manage 3 risers underneath your step. But for the most part, I like to stop at 2. So before you get started on your step routine, I just wanted to go over a couple of really brief safety issues for you. When you're stepping up onto the bench, you want to make sure and step from heel to toe. We're working the backside. That's how you're going to engage your glutes, your hamstrings, and you're going to squeeze your butt to protect your knee. When you come up onto the bench, you're going to make sure that you're right smack in the middle, and hopefully your feet aren't a size 15 or 20, because you don't want your toes hanging off the front or the back. That could make for a dangerous situation. Another thing for you to remember is that you have this little square riser here in the corner of your bench, and that's your target. Your foot wants to target the center of that. If you come to the corner, you want to make sure and step right smack in the middle of that riser. It's another safety issue. You don't want to dump over your bench. I've done it in front of classes of 50 people, landed on my butt, and it's not very fun. So make sure and protect yourself from those sorts of things. Always make sure that your heels strike the floor. No bouncing on your toes. No twinkle toes in a step class. And that you are not bouncing. If you notice, when I went through my combination, I wasn't jumping around because the power and the work come from stepping to the bench and powering it up. That's where the power comes from. If you're bouncing around on the floor, you're not nearly going to get the workout that you would if you're staying calm and keeping your heels on the floor. So just keep those 2 things remembered and go out there and have a good time. That's the main thing about exercise. It needs to be enjoyed. And if you do not enjoy it, just enjoy the feeling of when you get done, because that's what you're looking for. You don't need to enjoy the workout, but you will enjoy the feeling of being healthy and strong. I can guarantee you that. So get out there, get some stepping done, tone up those legs and that. Now, for those of you that have never done a step class, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put together a combination so that you can see how it goes together. Okay? So now we're going to assume that we're all warmed up. So make sure that you're warmed up if you're going to follow along. March it out, right side, right here. Okay? Now I'm going to be calling right side to your right. It's actually going to be my left. So if I make a boo-boo and I say left and you think it's supposed to be right, you're going to be correct. Basic right here. There's 4 of these. Feet up. It's wide step. Turn step right here. Step right. One more. Take it over the bench. One more. Walk around. Left basic. There you go. Pretty simple combination. Feet up. Turn it. Over the bench. basic left. V it up. Woohoo! Turn it. Over the bench. Walk it around the world. Do glutes. Switch sides. Right back to right basic here. Okay. You can just gradually add moves on as you go, and make sure and visit my blog at www.healthpulse-shelly with an I on the end .blogspot.com. And I will be talking to you soon, so take really good care and make sure and get some cardio in this week.